Irvine, California. Over the past year, college football analysts and draft pundits have gushed that John Ross, the University of Washington receiver with blinding speed, could be the next DeSean Jackson. Few realized, however, that the 9-year NFL veteran had taken it upon himself to groom his potential successor. The relationship began last summer at a barbershop in Long Beach, both players' hometown. Ross' father, John Ross Jr., a regular patron, bragged nearly every day that his son John III was the next big thing. Jackson's brother, Khaled, another regular, relayed the conversation to DeSean. And so the Washington Redskins receiver decided to see for himself. He obtained Ross' cell phone number last July and cold called him. "What are you doing right now?" Jackson blurted when Ross picked up. "Oh." Ross stumbled. "You should be working out," Jackson ordered. "I'm sorry, who is this?" Ross asked. "DeSean Jackson." "Seriously? When are you going to come work out with me?" "I'm in Seattle," Ross said. It was, after all, 2 weeks before Huskies training camp began. "So?" Jackson asked. 2 days later, Ross was on a flight back to Los Angeles. He reported to a dimly lit high school gym in Linwood. "It felt really secluded," Ross remembers, and sure enough, there was Jackson. In a 2-hour session, Jackson had Ross mimic his footwork drills. The veteran explained what he looks for en routes. Most importantly, he imparted this advice: "You're fast, but you don't have to use all of your speed every single time. Use your speed as a weapon, slow down sometimes. Focus on technique, and that's how you'll beat your guy." It sounds so simple, but it's not, and at first, I didn't really understand, Ross says. But DeSean and I kept talking during the season, probably 2 times a week, and then it just clicked. By using his advice, that's how I took my game to the next level. The Combine could cement Ross' status as the fastest player in the 2017 draft. He says he ran a laser-timed 4.30 last week. Ross led all Power 5 conference receivers with 17 touchdown catches last season, on 81 receptions for 1,150 yards, all despite missing all of 2015 with a torn ACL. Perhaps most impressive, over 3 years at Washington, he had 24 touchdowns on only 134 touches on offense, not to mention an additional 4 TDs on kickoff returns. A decade ago, a player with Ross' underwhelming size, 5'11" inches, 190 pounds, might have been relegated to the slot. But as top NFL corners have become bigger and more reliant on length and pure movement skills, there are now opportunities for smaller, quicker receivers to become an offense's top target, bouncing around in formations. See, 5 feet 11 inches Odell Beckham Jr., 5 feet 10 inches Antonio Brown, 5 feet 10 inches Doug Baldwin, 5 feet 10 inches Brandon Cooks, 5 feet 9 inches T.Y. Hilton, and of course, 5 feet 10 inches Jackson. When you watch John Ross tape, says one NFL evaluator, you could argue he's just an exceptional slot guy. But smart offenses will figure out ways to incorporate him everywhere. Ross is a likely first-round pick who already has an A-list Rolodex. Besides Jackson, his most important mentor is Snoop Dogg. During the season, he was tweeted at by actress Anna Faris. "Oh yeah," Ross says when reminded of her compliment. "She's pretty cool." The only person to truly humble Ross. Washington women's basketball sensation Kelsey Plum, who accepted his one-on-one challenge this fall, then won support from student onlookers in the bleachers when she hit her first 11 shots. "I was like, come on guys, where's my love?" Ross says. But of course everyone should root for Kelsey. She's a good friend. She's awesome. "It's funny," says his Washington position coach, Bush Hamdan, who last week was hired as the Atlanta Falcons' new quarterbacks coach. "John Ross lives in this world with flashy guys and big names. But really, he's just this sweet, gentle kid. I'm going to miss him like hell as a player. But I'll miss him 3 times as much as a person." Ross began playing football when he was 7, and scored a lot of touchdowns. so many that he developed a reputation in Long Beach. The ultimate neighborhood status was playing in Snoop Dogg's All-Star League. One weekend, Ross went to a game with his mom, and afterward approached Snoop for an autograph. Amid the mob, the rapper looked right at him. "I know you," Snoop said. "You're little Ross." And then John comes back to me, recalls his mother, Dana Mitchell, and says Snoop wants to talk to me. They exchanged numbers and soon, Ross was a Snoop Dogg All-Star. "People always ask me what it was like playing for Snoop," Ross says. "I'm telling you, he actually coached. He was at every practice. He called the plays in the huddle." The Snoop coaching playbook, according to Ross, Snoop loved to scrimmage. "We'd get there, warm up, then he goes, 'Okay, let's scrimmage.' In games, he always called an all-out blitz. Nobody calls an all-out blitz at that age.